Remember, they just went through this whole thing about trusting the science, and everybody out there was actually for once finally questioning the science. But they were telling you, hey, you can't question the science. We could label whatever we want as science, which is really big brother, your government, and you have to go along with it in the name of science. So when you hear "in science we trust," and they tell you about reorganizing society by putting scientists in charge, you probably are cringing, but you might be saying, well, what does that have to do with Elon Musk? Well, do you know who was at the head of this whole movement, this whole technocracy movement? Well, it was Elon Musk's grandfather was. And on October 13th of all days, which is the beginning of Samhain, the period in October from October 13th inverted 31 from the 13th to the 31st, where massive occult human sacrifice rituals take place. So I'm sure it's not coincidental that Joshua Haldeman appeared in city court to face 2 charges under the Defense of Canada Act in regards to the technocracy movement and its affiliation with politics. So politicians or members of political parties were not allowed to join the technocracy movement. It was founded in New York in 1933, so there's your 33, as an educational and research organization promoting a radical restructuring of political, social, and economic life in Canada and the United States with science as its central operating principle. Now think about what Elon Musk's role is with Donald Trump. The Department of Government Efficiency, organization, radical restructuring of the political and social economic life. That's what they're doing, and they're convincing you that it's something completely different. Elon Musk, in fact, is not even a capitalist, even though Elon Musk is a trillionaire. Now, if you haven't paid attention to some of the videos that I've done recently, or you're new to all this stuff, Elon Musk recently tweeted out somebody else's tweet. He reposted it, where they said Tesla's front and center of the 4th Industrial Revolution. And that's what this is all about. Transhumanism, AI governance. Elon Musk is literally proud of the fact that somebody tweeted out that Tesla was the front and center of the 4th Industrial Revolution. And of course, the 4th Industrial Revolution has been written by Klaus Schwab. So if he was opposed to the World Economic Forum and against them, then he wouldn't be proudly saying that his company is at the forefront of this industrial revolution, which was supposedly created by a complete psychopath, right? Who is trying to bring about AI governance, which is the message of the World Economic Forum. Back to the technocracy. In technocracy, there would be no politicians, business people, money, or income inequality. Starting to sound a little bit like communism. Those were all features of what technocracy called the price system, and it would have to go. There would be no countries called Canada or the United States. Think about what I talked about recently. Think about the states breaking away from the federal government. Donald Trump even saying that Canada could become the 51st state, or they could just call it the North American Union, which is eventually what the plan is. So there'd be no countries called Canada or the US, just one giant continental landmass called the Technate, a techno-utopia run by engineers and other experts in their fields. In the Technate, everyone would be well housed and fed. All material needs would be taken care of whether you had a job or not. Is that starting to sound a little like communist Democrats to you? Because, well, it's exactly what it sounds like. When you hear things like being well housed and fed, income equality, not inequality. These are all things we hear as talking points for the Dems, right? And everybody goes, we don't want that. We don't want communism. And you hear well housed and fed. It sounds a lot like prison, doesn't it? With those freedom cities that are coming. Elon Musk, even at the World Government Summit in 2017, talked about why the world needs a universal basic income. Joshua Haldeman was his grandfather. Elon Musk has openly been anti-Republican, anti-Christian, a face of atheism, and of course the face of transhumanism for quite some time. But all it takes is for him to say that he's casting his vote for Donald Trump. All it takes is for him to say that he's going to put up lots and lots of money and run a sweepstakes if you go and vote for Donald Trump. I mean, do you know what getting baited into something is? People were able to see that when they were trying to stick a needle in your arm and tell you that you can get a free gift card to Arby's a couple of years ago, and everyone was saying, well, this is a little desperate. This is a little much. The government's giving us stuff now. If we go and do something they want us to do, I'm suspicious all of a sudden, because whenever the government gives you something for free, you should be suspicious. Well, Elon Musk was doing the same thing with the fake election, and of course was going out of his way to let you know that he promises your vote actually counts. Don't listen to people that say you're opting into a contract, that you're opting in to be governed. Now, another tweet from Elon Musk, which I mentioned earlier, the tweet about Martian technocracy. He also tweeted out underneath it back in 2019, again, when he was openly a Democrat, so it wasn't very suspicious then, but of course now people should be paying attention, especially since all of a sudden we have some Silicon Valley nut job who's trying to get Neuralink in your head, standing side by side with the potential president of the United States, and is going to have a prominent role in reorganizing the government and bringing about AI governance. He tweeted that underneath it, he wrote, anarcho-syndicalism, underneath that. Anarcho-syndicalism. You might hear that, you might say, is that anarchy? Well, let me tell you what it is. It's a form of anarchism. It sees labor unions as something which will cause revolutionary change. This change will give freedom and equality to the workers. Oh, okay, and what else do they want to do here? Well, anarcho-syndicalists want rid of the wage system and capitalism. And for anybody out there that's looking around, go, wait a minute, Donald Trump's a capitalist. Elon Musk they're capitalists. They're very, very rich men. Well, do you understand how this globalist communism works, this global new world order? These people who are rich and wealthy will remain rich and wealthy. In fact, richer and more wealthy. The rest of us, the people who are poor, the people who are the middle class, will be slaves to them. Elon Musk is not your friend. Elon Musk is one of them. And all it took for you to believe him was for him to say he suddenly found God, and for you to smile and say, yay, that's great news, and to take him at his word, and then to tell you that he's going to change the government. He's going to audit the IRS. You're being baited in. And if you don't become aware of what they're trying to bring about with AI governance, then you're not going to wake up. Donald Trump is going to bring about AI governance. The left and the right are working together. They would never have gotten conservatives on board with AI governance if they didn't do what they just did, which is making a government look completely incompetent, gaslighting you every day with stories about how the main concern of the government was to suppress free speech and to prop up people who John Bobbitize themselves, to prop up people who openly announce their pronouns, to give them promotions based on their skin color. By design, this irritated and drove conservatives crazy. But instead of actually starting a revolution against it and opting out of the current government, everybody put their vote, opted in, and think and hope that Donald Trump is going to change the day. And they don't even know what AI governance is because they're so obsessed with their technology, they don't even realize that all of this that's going on, this hypnosis that everyone's under, is all caused from this technology. The enslavement is coming via this technology. And they're going to tell you that these are all things that benefit you. Digital ID, no more migrants crossing over, no more illegals in your states. Yay, yay. Oh, wait, your digital ID could also lock you out of your bank account, but Trump would never do that to me. Trump would never lock me out of my bank account. He's a good person. God stepped in and saved him because the same controlled mainstream media, the Democrat media, even used the same talking points, which you now conveniently believe, that divine intervention got in the way, right? So we're talking about eugenics, but we're talking about transhuman eugenics in the digital age. And if you don't know, again, some of the stuff that Elon Musk is showing us, here's just a few clips if you haven't been paying attention of what he's bringing about with these humanoid robots, making it like it's a joke, like, hey, you come home from work, and one of these things can make you, a margarita. Oh, yeah, great, let's bring it in the home. Meanwhile, on the flip side of this, Elon Musk is telling us that artificial intelligence are demons, and every single movie that's coming out every other week is about AI getting inside of your home and murdering your family. Sounds great, right?
I mean, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, he's sure he can control the demon. Didn't work out.
Robot with arms and legs instead of a robot with wheels. And we've made a lot of progress with Optimus. And as you can see, we started up with someone in a robot suit, sort of down, and then we've progressed dramatically year after year. So if you extrapolate this, you're really going to have something spectacular, something that anyone could own. So you can have your own personal R2-D2 C-3PO. But fundamentally, at scale, the Optimus robot, you should be able to buy an Optimus robot for, I think, probably $20,000 to $30,000 long term. So, and what can it do? It'll be able to do anything you want. So it can be a teacher, babysit your kids. It can walk your dog, mow your lawn, get the groceries, just be your friend, serve drinks, whatever you can think of, it will do. And yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And I think this will be the biggest product ever of any kind. Yeah. Because I think everyone, of the 8 billion people of Earth, I think everyone's going to want their Optimus buddy. And there's going to be maybe two. And then they'll be producing products and services. I predict, actually, provided we address risks of digital superintelligence, 80% probability of a good outcome. Look on the bright side. The cup is 80% full. The cost of products and services will decline dramatically, and basically anyone will be able to have any products and services they want. One of the things we wanted to show tonight was that Optimus is not a canned video. It's not walled off. The Optimus robots will walk among you. Please be nice to the Optimus robots. So you'll be able to walk right up to them, and they'll serve drinks at the bar.
In this year's conference in January, mastering the fourth industrial revolution, gene editing.
Exactly.
Opening a whole new horizon for medical science.
And you see, the difference of this fourth industrial revolution is it doesn't change what you are doing. It changes you. If you take genetic editing,
Right.
Just as an example, it's you who are changed.
Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, is what they have planned. That's what hell on earth looks like. Your fourth industrial revolution, which of course will change you, because when the technology is inside of you and you're gene edited, which is already underway, you'll no longer be what you once were, which is human. This is about a hybrid race. Have you seen the pivot? Are you paying attention to the pivot that has taken place here? In 2020 and 2021, the government expected you to be so fearful of a virus that they created that they expected you to not look at politics, not look at any of the stuff that they're already working on and ingraining in you, to go and get something in your body. The majority of people, even Trump supporters, did not obey. And because they didn't obey, they're now pivoting in a different direction. They've now aligned the face of nanotech, brain chip technology. And no, I'm not talking about Bill Gates, I'm talking about Elon Musk, with Donald Trump, in hopes that you'll see, you'll just look right past it. You'll look right past it, because Donald Trump, while they're trying to get this stuff inside of you, which they could do in different ways, people can willingly go and get a Neuralink, or you could have it injected in you, which he has openly talked about. But while they're showing you this stuff right in front of you, you won't pay attention to it because you don't understand it. Instead, you'll just hear Donald Trump talk about how he's going to close the borders and how we're not going to have insane curriculum in the schools. And you won't even realize that they're trying to get this technology inside of your body. And what they're trying to do with the government right now, when they're talking about government efficiency, is bring about AI governance, which is why the Democrats deliberately acted the way they act, because they're all working together. The Democrats know they're playing the role of incompetent, bumbling fool. The people who vote for them don't know, because they're beyond common sense at this point.